Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, I sometimes tell constructors, and especially new constructors, don't send a long rule set because it won't get featured because it's very hard to understand. And you may think I'm a hypocrite today because this puzzle's rule set is quite long. But that's only because there's a certain amount of explaining base 3 in it, I think. Well, it's not only because of that, but what really appeals to me about the puzzle, let's focus on the positive, is the dearth of clues in the grid. It's a really, really sparsely populated grid when you've understood the rules. And I think you'll be entertained by the idea as I am. And I quite like working in bases in maths as well. So I was wondering the other day whether there were any Sudoku puzzles that had used bases. I think we've done one or two on the channel in the past, but not for a while. And yet this has popped up now. I'm also going to read you Cassini's lovely email, which I think is instructive. Anyway, I'll get to that in a moment. I want to mention Patreon first. Always a great source of fascinating puzzle content, gridogram, connections, crossword videos, me and Simon solving the Blueprints Sudoku together, which was brilliant. Puzzle by VFig, great fun, and we collaborated on the solve. That's on Patreon. Now that has a long rule set. There's also the Sudoku hunts every month. Their main Patreon reward, and there'll be something coming on the 1st of May, and look forward to that. Now you can also get great value for money elsewhere with our apps. They do feature Line Sudoku, Domino Sudoku, Killer Sudoku, and Classic Sudoku 2, and the worms, including Blobs' latest eclectic Sudoku worm. Give it a try, it's fabulous. And such good value, $2 or $3 for an incredible sequence of Sudokus that are really well constructed, as you would expect from Blobs. And talking of well constructed, there's the new merch, the Rat Run merch designed by Marty Sears, which is absolutely brilliant and great fun, and has been selling quite well. So thank you, Marty. Fantastic. And that is available as well on links under the video. Now, there is a first link under the video which will take you to the rules for this, take you to this puzzle, which has the rules embedded in it. But I am going to read to you now what Cassini wrote in his email. He said, I first came across variant Sudokus when I was recommended one of your videos on YouTube roughly 3 years ago, and instantly became gripped. Every day I would watch you solve absolutely incredible puzzles, and it wasn't long until I started trying to solve them alongside you. I slowly got better and better at solving variant Sudokus until I was able to solve one completely on my own, after which I of course watched you solve it much quicker. Since then I've been getting quicker and better still, to the point where I can actually keep up with both of you. Okay, not all the time. So thus far, I think that journey would mirror quite a lot of you, and more power to your elbow. I mean, that is what we're trying to get you into. Around 2 months ago, Cassini goes on, I started attempting to set puzzles. With each new puzzle I set, I got better at understanding what makes a good puzzle, thanks especially to the amazing people over on the CTC Discord. Links under the video. About 2 weeks ago, I set a puzzle that I'm really proud of called Entropic Ternary. I'd be so grateful and happy if you solved it on your channel. And that is where we are today. So congratulations, Cassini. And what a lovely email. Thank you. I think that journey will be, as I say, mirrored by others. Now, let's have a look at these rules, which I have trumpeted as difficult. They're not that difficult. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. In a cage, the digits X and Y, reading left to right, form a pair of coordinates that point to row X, column Y. Now, the example that's given later in the rules is 4, 8. Actually, let's not put that in the V cage. Let's put that here. So this would point to row 4, column 8. What digit would it put into row 4, column 8? Well, if X or Y is in the entropic set 1, 2, 3, its value is the base 3 digit 0. If it's 4, 5, or 6, it's the base 3 digit 1. If it's 7, 8, or 9, it's the base 3 digit 2. So this example is a 1, 2 in base 3, We then convert that back to base 10. Can I call that deanery between friends? And that's the number 5, which we now have to put into row 4, column 8. So we would put a 5 there. That's what these numbers mean within the cages. And that's not that hard to understand. We've got these entropic sets of digits. 1, 2, 3 represent the digit 0, 4, 5, 6 the digit 1, and 7, 8, 9 the digit 2 in base 3. So that is the complicated bit. Then we have a negative diagonal on which digits do not repeat. So that's a set of 1 to 9. Adjacent digits on a green line have a difference of at least 5. On an orange line, a difference of at least 4. The killer cage adds up to 15. The white dot has consecutive digits. On the black dot, one digit is double the other. X means the 2 digits add up to 10. V means they add up to 5. And the grey cell means an even digit. And those are fairly standard rules for all puzzles that would have those markings that we do on the channel, or almost all. So give it a try on that first link under the video. You can look at the video link to see how I found it as a guide to difficulty, but I'm finally going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, as I say, there are very few markings in the grid, and I'm very impressed by that, given this fairly sparse rule set. Let's start with the V cage, because that can only be filled with digits less than 5. It's either a 1-4 pair or a 2-3 pair. Now, what base 3 digits would they map to? Well, 2-3 would map to 0-0, which clearly translates to 0, and that's not going to happen. So this must be a 1-4 cage, and it must either be, if it says 1-4, then that represents the number 0-1, which is 1. And that would put a 1 in row 1, column 4, there. And if it's 4-1, then we're talking about row 4, column 1, and the digit would be 1-0, which is 3 in base 10. That's 0 lots of 1 and 1 lot of 3. So this cage is either putting a 1 there or a 3 here. Let's just sort of, I tell you what I do. I'm going to try and employ some intelligence here and call that the blue line cage, and it's putting a digit in one of those blue cells. Now there was a rule. Did I mention the rule? I don't know if I did. No 2 cage coordinates point to the same cell. So if we do find that this refers to row 1, column 4, no other cage will contain 1-4. That's actually an important rule. Probably. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I was thinking the green line would be helpful because it's being looked at by the 6, and that means the high digit on this line is 7, 8, or 9. And that's going, but the trouble is, that's going with a low digit of 1, 2, 3, or 4. And although 7, 8, 9 always translate to the digit 2 in ternary, I don't know whether that 2 comes first or second. And I don't know whether the other digit in the cage is a ternary 0 or 1. So there are 4 possible outputs of that cage, and maybe it's not as helpful as I hoped. I'm going to look at the 15 cage, the killer cage, which is either 6, 9 or 7, 8 in one order or the other. Now, if it's 6, 9, we're looking at row 6, column 9, or row 9, column 6. If it's 7 or 8, we're looking at one of those cells, row 7, column 8, or row 8, column 7. And the number, if it's 7, 8, the number is 2, 2 in base 3, which is 8 in base 10. We cannot put an 8 in one of those cells if this is 7, 8 here. And we would have to, so it can't be 7, 8 here, and they're not yellow. So this is definitely either 6, 9 putting, well, what would that be? 6, 9 would be 1, 2, which would be a 5 in that cell, or 9, 6, putting that would be 2, 1, that's 7 in row 9, column 6. So many numbers. Oh, and I'm going to make this a yellow cage with a line, because that's delivering a yellow cell to one of those two places. Oh, I'm a little bit afraid of having to do, I mean, this has got 16 possible combinations. This one has 8, I suppose. This has 8. Oh, this has been reduced because there's no 6 available, and these are even digits. So we're either looking at, that's actually interesting, because now this cage can't be a 2-8 pair, because then you couldn't make up this cage. Now, we're either looking at row 2 versus column 4 or 8. Okay, let's give this a colour. We'll make that orange. That's either looking at this cell. I will work out what digit it's putting in there in a moment, or that one, or row 4, column 2, row 4, column 8, or row 8, column 2, or row 8, column 4. And what digit would it be putting in? If it's 2, 4, that is a 1. If it's 2, 8, that's 0, 2, so that would be a 2. If it's 4, 8, no, if it's 4, 2, first of all, that would be 1, 0, that's a 3. Okay, if it's 4, 8, that would be 1, 2 in ternary, that's a 5. If it's 8, 4, that 8, 4 would be 2, 1, which is a 7. Ooh, that's interesting. 8, 2 would be a 6, 2, 0. So this orange line is putting one of these orange cells in. Isn't that interesting that if this is giving a 7, that can't be giving a 7 because it would be in the same box. And if this is giving a 5, that one can't be giving a 5 because it's in the same box. Now, this one can't be 2, 8 anymore. So it's either 1, 9, 3, 7 or 4, 6. If it's 1, 9 or 9, 1, okay, let's give this a colour. What colour shall we make this? Let's make this green. I'm going to have to use a green line in a box that isn't the green line one. Oh, that's going to confuse me. I hadn't thought about that. Oh well, let's see how we go. Right, this is either putting a digit, I was going to call it an X, that's not right, into there or there. Row 1, column 9 or row 9, column 1. Or row 3, column 7 or row 7, column 3. Or row 4, column 6 or row 6, column 4. Now one of those is in its own cage. If it was 7, 3, that would be putting the digit 2, 0. That's 6 into this cage. So it's not 7, 3, or it would be overwriting its own 3 with a 6. And that's not green. If it was 4, 6 or 6, 4, that would be 1, 1, and the digit would be 4 in one of those cells. If it was 1, 9, that digit would be 0, 2, that would be a 2. If it was 3, 7, that's interesting. If it was 3, 7, that would be 0, 2. That would be a 2 as well. Something is going on here. If it was 9, 1, that would be 2, 0. That would be putting a 6 here. It's always the same digit going in the same boxes. Is that a function of what's happening here? It is, isn't it? Oh, I'm so dense. Oh, I could really get annoyed with myself sometimes. This is the important deduction. If you made this deduction immediately, you're a smart person. Well done. It's totally obvious when you think about it, but it's totally not obvious when you don't. And what is now obvious to me is But every time the first digit in one of these cages is 1, 2, or 3, we're looking in these rows. And we're also using a 0 in the ternary, in the base 3 system. Then the second digit, let's imagine the second digit was a 1. And we're looking at the number 1. But the second digit has been generated as a base 3 1 by a 4, 5, or 6 digit in the grid. So that's going to narrow it down to those cells. So every group of 3 is narrowing down to a box. So every time we get a 0, 1 in base 3, we're putting the digit 1 into one of these cells. We're putting a 1 into this box somewhere. And you can't put 2 of them into the same box. And there's the rule that no 2 cage coordinates point to the same cell. So all of these cages are going to be putting digits into different boxes. Are there 9 of the cages? There are not, actually. Oh, there are 8. So they're all pointing to different boxes. Oh, and they're all, yeah, sorry, I'd forgotten that there's no 0, 0. So each one of these cages is putting a different digit into a different box. One of them's putting a 1 into box number 2. One of them's putting a 2 into box number 3, and so on, all the way up to an 8 into box number 9. And one way to attack this puzzle now, which is a relief because I've been really running out of ways to attack it before, is to try and work out if there's a box that can't really be populated by any but one of the cages. Now, is there? I don't know. Now I'm going to have to think about the 4 cages I haven't really dared to think about. So, let's give this a colour. Let's give this the colour grey. I don't know why. Maybe that's wrong. But anyway, this is going to be, well, it's not going to be 1, 2 or 2, 1 because that would give the number 0, 0. So this is either going to be 2, 4, 3, 6 or 4, 8 in one order or another. The digit it's going to be placing, therefore, is either here, 2, 4, or 4, 2 here, or 3, 6, or 6, 3, or 4, 8, or 8, 4. So the grey output is going to be in one of those 6 cells. Well, that's quite a lot of... No, that's 4 different boxes covered. Okay, let's give this a colour of a pink line. And that is, well, these numbers are close together. That's important, actually. It's either going to be... Oh, hang on one second. Dude, you know you've got a tutor group thing coming? Cool. So this is, sorry about that. This is either going to be putting, well, the row and column number are 1 apart. So that could, in theory, if it was a 1, 2, well, it can't be a 1, 2. That would be 0, 0. So we can't put a number into this box. So we just keep marking these. These are the possible cells that are being fed by this cage. Row 3, column 4. Actually, no. Oh, no, I was going to say we know there's a 4 in one of those cells. We absolutely don't know that because green could be delivering a 2 or a 6. Yeah. So it's one of these pink cells for that one. Right. Okay, I've got the Dutch Whisper and the German Whisper still to try and do. Let's do the German Whisper first, tiny bit more constrained, although I think there's a lot of places. Let's give it a colour of, we've used blue, let's give it a colour of, oh, well, I want a colour that's not going to obscure the green line, don't I? Oh, there we go, red. Right, which cells can this be populating? So the digits have to be 5 apart. So if the first one's a 1, it has to be 6 to 9. If the second one's a 2, 7 to 9. 3 is 8 to 9. 4 is 9. So these are the possible red cells that this cage is populating. And down here, we must mirror that with those cells. So red is going to be throwing something into those. Now, I fear that the line is going to be quite large for this cage. What colour have I not used? Green, grey, orange, yellow, black. I don't want to use black. Oh, I haven't got another colour. Okay, I'm going to use light blue. So I'm colouring that sort of blue again. I know that looks like the other blue, but my palette is limited. Right, these are 4 apart. So I think we just extend this shape by 1. If we had a 1 in the first place, that would have to be a 5 or more. So that would go into those cells, and this alternatively into these cells. Now, I know that's coloured a lot of the grid, but look, we have not coloured. You can ignore these greys. Those are the shadings for the even digit. The only colour that we can put into box 9 is this pink colour, which is generated by this. Is that right? Is that right? Let me just think about that. We've put in colour for every possible cage generation. I think that's right. I don't know why it's not. So one of these cells in pink is generated by this cage. So I'm getting rid of all the other pinks now. How about that? And we're either generating row 7, column 8, row 7, column 9, row 8, yeah, this is either a 7-8 pair or an 8-9 pair. It uses the digit 8 for sure. And it's going to always put a digit that is 2-2, which is an 8, into box 9. Well, that's interesting, because it's not putting it there. So that first digit is not a 9. It's putting it into one of these cells. Okay, but at least we know that box 8 has been used, and that, look, this middle box, where's it getting its generated digit? It's got to get it from the green cell. Therefore, this cage is either 4-6 or 6-4. And these cannot be green anymore. And they are now putting a 4 into one of those cells, which I thought was important earlier, although I can't remember why now. And now this is a 4-6 pair, so I'm definitely taking out some pencil marks. I don't really know what these corner marks mean anymore, sorry. But a 4-6 pair there makes this a 2-8 pair. And now we know that the 8 that's being generated by that has to go into this cage, because it's a 2-8 cage, and it must go into this cell, and there it is. And these are not pink. And this is generating a digit in row 7, column 8. There we go. Bingo. Now I'm going to take tiny Sudoku wins. This digit can't be 8, and therefore we're not throwing a digit into row 4, column 8 from this grey, and that's that one. Okay, now we are running out of boxes in which there are very few coloured cells. In fact, we have probably run out of them. I'm going to have to do something better. I'm going to have to somehow use this 4-6. Well, I've already used it to generate that 2-8. I want to do something else. I'm loving this. This is so clever, but it's so mad the way I have found I have to solve it. Okay, grey. Oh no, it's only lost one of its greys. It could still be almost anything, and it's... I did mark 3s in that box, but I don't know if that... Oh, there's still the diagonal. Can we do any Sudoku, even though we've only put 4 digits in the grid? I was wondering, this diagonal needs a 6. It can't be there. So it's either here, here, or here. No, I don't think that's any use. Right, we've found where green... Oh, we've got this. Box is now complete. It's 2, 8. It's generating the orange cell there, of course. So I can remove all the other possible oranges. That digit, in fact, is a 2, obviously, that's being sent into box 3 by a 0, 2 ternary number there. So that digit is 2. And we don't need any of this other colour in this box because we know exactly which digit has been thrown in there. It's the 2 by orange. We still don't know what this is. Now, has that affected what goes in here? And we've also reduced a bit. Yes, we now can't have a 2 in this cage. And that means we can't have a red digit in column 2, which is quite interesting. Maybe not very interesting. Now we've almost found the digit in that box. We've definitely found it here and here. 5 in this box is going to be in one of these cells. Where is this red going to send? It's either 1, 6. Well, it's not. No, we can't also have a 6 in this cage. So we can't have anything in column 6 or in row 6. And now red is really quite limited. Red is either going to throw a digit here with 4, 9 or here with 9, 4 or into this box. It's not, oh, I tell you what, it's not throwing a digit in. The digit that's going to appear in this box is a 6. And I know the 2 cells into which it might, well, I know 2 cells into which it must fit, and that's those 2. Because they're a 4, 6 pair. So none of these can be thrown in by that red especially. And now that red is throwing either 4, 9 or 9, 4 in, and we've got a pair. That is weird. And it's throwing either a 5 there or a 7 here. This is also throwing a 5 and or a 7. And that is going to deal, red and yellow are going to be populating these 2 boxes, which therefore are not light blue or grey. I'm going to get rid of those. 5 is now in one of those 2 cells and 7 is in one of those 2. And those 2 boxes are accounting for those 5 and 7. Oh, maybe the 9s can decide it. If this is 6, 9, that's a 7. And that's 9, 4. No, what the 9s decide is that either this is a 5, 7 pair in the column or that's a 5, 7 pair in the row. Anyway, the digit, the 6 that's being thrown in here is being thrown in by this orange line. Orange stroke blue, which is throwing it into either row 7 column 2 or row 7 column 3. So that's a 7 and this is 2 or 3. And that's going to put a 6 in one of these. And I'm getting rid of the other light blue shadings. And really the shadings have all disappeared now. Also, that can no longer be blue. Because if this cage was throwing that in, it was going to be 4, 1. And it's not. It's going to be 1, 4. And the digit it's placing is its own 1. And now we cannot put, we've had the digit for this box, so those greys go away. And the only greys left are in box 4. And that means this grey line is either 4, 2 or 6, 3, and putting a 3 in place in one of those 2 cells. 4, 2 or, I've got that wrong, 4, 2 or 6, 3. Oh, it's, look, there's a 4 there, so it's Sudoku. So it's 6, 3, brilliant. So that is saying that it is this digit that is the 3, the grey 3. This digit now has to be a 2, it's not grey. That 7, 2 means this digit is a 6. That's what it's telling us. And this one is a 4, and that is not coloured. And that 6, 4 is then placing a 4 here in row 6, column 4, and not there. And now apart from the 7, 5 pair, oh, is that done? Not quite. We're nearly done with these cages. That's amazing. That is so brilliant. Oh, I did not see this coming. Oh, look, 4, 4, and 4 tell us this digit is a 4. That's perfect. Because now it's not a 7. It's not a 7. So yellow is putting its digit there. And red's not putting a digit there. Red's putting a digit there. Oh, well, I got it wrong. I said that these were going to be a 7, 5 pair in the row or the column. Ooh, I hope I did just get that wrong. Yes, this 4 is not yellow. Idiot. That 5 is yellow. That's being generated by row 6, column 9. This is now row 9, column 4, generating a 7 there. And that's right. Okay, all the cages are done. The rest is Sudoku, or diagonal Sudoku. Let's hope I can do it a bit better. We need a 3 and a 7 in this row, and this digit can't be a 7. So that's 3, that's 7. This is a 1, 5, 9 triple. That's a 2, 8 pair that are not resolved. This is where 3 goes in box 9. This is a naked 1 now. It sees everything else in the box or the column. That's a 4, 5 pair. There's a 2 there in the final column. Everything else in the column is 3, 6, or 8. There's a 2 in one of those cells, and it can't be on the diagonal because we've had one, so it's there. That fixes 8 and 2. There's a 7 in one of these. I don't know where. There's a 4 in one of those two. Can it be on the diagonal? Yes. Haven't actually got much of the diagonal done yet. I was a bit lucky that 2 next to 2 wasn't a possibility. This is 7, 8, 9. This is 1, 2, 5. There's a 1 in one of these cells, and therefore one of these 3. Again, it still doesn't really feel like there's enough information in the puzzle, quite. But I suppose there is. There's an 8 in one of those two. And if this was classic, I wouldn't feel comfortable that there was enough info. Oh, there's a 6 in one of these. I'm going to have to... The diagonal is going to make a difference. Yeah, there's a 6 on this diagonal still to come, which is now in one of those two. Doesn't actually help yet. That can't be 7, that can't be 2. We need a 5 in this column. Wow, I don't know, but let's still keep trying. 1, 4, 8, 2. These can't be 7 or 6. That digit is 3 or 5. 3, 4, 2. Oh, just when you're hoping it gets easier. It really doesn't sometimes. Right. I haven't found anything for a good 2 or 3 minutes, which once you're doing classic is really disappointing. 4 is either there or there. Is that? Sometimes finding 2 possible places on a diagonal reveals something exciting, but it didn't in that case. 7, 9, 2, 6. Oh, if I've done this right, this ought to be easy. There's a 3 in one of those cells. So 3 on the diagonal now is either here or here. And I guess that means this digit is not 3. Is that any use to us? No. No, it is not. The 2 in box 1 can't be there. And it also can't be on the diagonal. There's only one place for 2 in box 1. That's bizarre. That place is 2 in box 2 and 2 in box 7. And that's all the 2s. They're suddenly all done. Well, that's the kind of push forward we need. Should I keep looking at box 1? It's unlikely to yield any more fruit. But I didn't expect that. 8, maybe. 7, 2. There's this 1, 5 pair. Oh, 7 in this column only has 2 places, which is a bit strange. One on the diagonal, those 3. Seven in box 1, which can't be on the diagonal or in column 1, is in one of those 3. That's not actually, that's definitely not helpful. Okay, let's keep looking down this central column, which needs a 1 either there or there. Oh, I'm going to mark this up. This sees 3, 4, 2, 5 in the row, 7, 8 in the box, 9 in the column. So that's 1 or 6, which is quite constrained. This is 3, 5 or 6. I'm going to mark that. Let's mark all the diagonal cells. 2, 3, 4, 6, 9 or 7 on the diagonal. 1, 5 or 8. 2, 6, 7, 9. I mean, that's got a lot of optionality. And this one, much less. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 3, 9. That's 5 or 8. So, is there some sort of triple going on or quad here? I mean, there really isn't. That has not resolved much. Oh well, I'm just going to soldier away at this point. I mean, I've really been entertained by how this puzzle works. Oh, look, here, there's a 5 in one of those 2 cells in this column. And therefore, they both see the corner. So whichever one the 5 is in, this can't be a 5. So that's an 8. That is the sort of thing you have to do in diagonals. And that makes this a 9. Wouldn't it be lovely if that suddenly unwound the whole thing? I'm not expecting it to. We've got 1, 4, 5 still to... Oh, this digit is a naked 1 now. It sees 8, 6, 7, 3, 9, 2 in the column. 4, 5 in the row. That becomes a 6. Which deals with the 6 on the diagonal. I suddenly had a nightmare that 6 had been resolved by this x, but it hadn't. Don't worry. I've got, that is a naked 7 because it sees 8, 9 in the row. I've got an 8, 9 pair left in the row. Now the diagonal still got 1, 3, 4, 5 to go. The 4 is either there or there, that's no use. Okay, I've got a 4, 5 pair to go in the first column. Eight in box, no, that's not interesting. 7, 5, 2. 9 is in one of these 3. Oh, this central box has got quite a lot of digits in it. So 1 is now confined to one of those two cells, and then one of these 2, but it can't be here because of the 1 in box 3. So I've got 3, 4, 5 to place in the column. Chocolate teapot triple emerges, as so often. Why isn't this diagonal getting a bit easier at this point? That would be justice, I feel. Oh look, there's a 1-5 pair in column 3. 2, 1, 5, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8, 9 still to place. That is 6 or 9. This is 6, 8 or 9. And this is 7 or 9. Now, that's a 6, 8, 9 triple, and this must therefore be 4 or 5 in the row. That's a 4, 5 pair. This is 3 or 9. And this is 6 or 9. There's only one place for 3 in row 5, and that took a long time to discover, but it's going to sort out the whole diagonal, because this digit's now 5, this is 1, this is 4, and this is the 3 on the diagonal. And that is going to have a significant effect. Now, this digit can't be 3. This box needs a 1, 9 pair left over. That can't be 9. That can't be 5, and it can't be 1 in the column either, which has been the case for a while. This is now a 6, 8 pair. I've got a given digit that is hiding in a different colour, so it's hard to spot. 8 there, 1, 6, 8, 4, 2. One of these is a 3. This can't be hard anymore. I mean, it's not. It's just me being a little slow. 1 there is seeing a 5 at the bottom. That 5 doesn't reflect up to the top. 3 in box 2 has to be there. It's funny, I almost want to call box 2 box 1 now, because that was the digit that was getting placed in it. Then this isn't 1, that's 1. This is 5 and 7 in some order. We've got 5, 7, 9 to put in the box. That digit is going to have to go here. And we've got a 5, 7, 9 triple in the row. This is 4. That gives me 5 and 4 there. That's all the 4s done. Not all the 5s though. That's 5, 7 or 9. 1, 2, 7, 5. Ah, something must have got a bit easier now. Surely somewhere. Not obviously. That can't be 8. So something must be happening in this box. I can't see it. If that was 3, that would be 4. Oh, that 4 has made this a 5. That is very obvious. In the same box, there was only one digit left in the box. You can't get much more obvious than that. Right, now, what has that done? That's given me a 7 here. So this is 6, because it sees 3, 5 in the column. That's going to give me 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Finishing the puzzle. That's 8, 9, 6, 7, 8. There was enough information. Who knew? Well, Cassini knew. 1, 9, 1, 5, 7, 5. And there we go. We've completed our entropic ternary. What a lovely puzzle. What a clever idea. And what a feeble revelation came to me after about 8 minutes of putting in candidates. Brilliant stuff. That was really enjoyable. And yeah, I've had a good time today, which is marvellous. I will see you again soon on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Do join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.